Welcome to my PowerPoint about cards I've been wrong about. Starting with Death Knight, I'm going to have to say I was wrong about buttons. I thought that the 4 mana buff to buttons was not significant enough for this card. I didn't think it would actually change the power level of this card really at all, but I really just neglected to understand the fact about how strong Razzle Dazzler was as a card. Yes, I knew Razzle Dazzler would be good. Don't get me wrong, but I thought it would be significantly better in Shaman than it was in Death Knight, like overall, but it's still really strong in Death Knight to the fact, like, obviously to the point that buttons is going to make this list as still a very powerful card. Another card that was buffed at the same time was Natural Talent, and it really just is big and significant for this deck. It actually is slightly more important for Death Knight than it is for Shaman, because Shaman has access to a lot of other very powerful nature spells. Death Knight doesn't have access to any other nature spells at all. So Natural Talent being buffed and being an actually good card is just a bigger buff to Death Knight than it was to Shaman overall. So I just didn't catch that as I should have, and buttons definitely makes this spot. Then for Death Knight, we have Umpire's Grasp. This card is just crazy. When it first came out, it was 3 mana before going to 4, and you would just play it, you would break it on turn 4, drawing Window Shopper, and then you'd be able to play Window Shopper for 3 mana, 6/5, which is already really good. Then you could pretty often hit Magtheridon. If you missed, you could just play your other Window Shopper that you got from the Miniaturize for 1 mana, so you can still play it on turn 4, and then have another shot at hitting Magtheridon. The thing is if you hit 2 Magtheridons, you always were winning that game. It's 6 damage at the end of your turn for the next 2 turns, and it summons a 6/5 and a 1/1 for 4 mana. That's really strong. You would just run a bunch of other cards that would support this. You'd run ways to draw Umpire's Grasp, you'd run ways to put your Magtheridon back in Dormant with red card. It was just really, really powerful. I did not expect this at all. I didn't realize the Standard's Demon Pool was small enough to make it so something like this could happen, and it's still, like, okay now. There's still not that many demons in Standard for a Demon Hunter, but it's still definitely worse than it was when it first came out. It was just insane. Then we have Druid. So, Treant Druid has been a good deck at some kind of random times in Hearthstone. Like, yeah, it's usually around times to get support, obviously, but they never feel like cards that are supposed to be good enough to make it good, and then it just kind of happens. I really underestimate Overgrown Beanstalk. Gosh. Just mainly because I just kind of underestimated Forest Seedling and Cultivation at the same time. These 3 cards in combination are just so powerful. Treant Druid is actually genuinely a playable card in Wild. I'd say you could probably call it like a tier 4 or 5 deck overall. It's really fun. It's just really high roll reliant. You'll probably not be hitting it most often. Yeah, when you do hit the good cards, you'll probably win almost every single game, except you're playing against like maybe Priest when they can play Shadow Word Ruin. But it's a deck. It's a deck of all time. It's very fun. If you guys haven't seen it, I would recommend trying to find it somewhere. I don't have a list on me currently. Sorry, I can't post it, but it's just really fun. I mean, Overgrown Beanstalk just draws so many cards. You cycle through your deck incredibly fast. It's a good card. Then we have Hunter. Obviously, to everyone's surprise, 5 mana Mystery Egg was a good card. There is absolutely no one that thought 5 mana Mystery Egg was going to be good in Wild. I am saying that as a fact. There is no one that thought so. If you did, you're lying, or you're just like the biggest coper ever. Especially because no one thought it would be good with Princess Huhuran. There's just no way people were anticipating that. This, however, is the 4 mana egg. I'm gonna admit it. I'll just admit it. I was wrong. I thought 4 mana egg would be just weaker than it is. I don't know. I really thought that just the nerf to the Huron deck specifically was just kind of odd and out there, but mine Hunter is just, it's fine. I would say it's about as good as the Huron Hunter, mainly because the best part of the deck was the Mok'Nathal Lions spam. It wasn't really Huron building a board. It was always Mok'Nathal Lions. So getting them out earlier is just really significant. I did think that the nerfing to the mini was going to make it worse in Standard. That's why I thought it would be bad in Standard. But just being able to curve Yelling Yodeler into Mystery Egg is significant enough. Obviously, you know, after the mini set, well, it's not that great because everything is bad after the mini set compared to Mage, but it's still fun and worth playing if you haven't checked it out yet. Then we have Mage. So Mage, I'm going to choose Sleet Skater. Like, dude, I never in 100 years would I have thought this card would have been good, and it's so weird because we were in the Miracle Rogue meta when this card came out. How did I really not suspect this card to be good in Wild? I don't know what I was thinking, In Standard, though, like, this card's also just insane. Like, yeah, in Wild, it's great as a defensive card, yeah. But in Standard, it's good as, like, a combo tool, a combo piece, because you can play it with Mezzadune the Fractured to get 4 Sleet Skaters, because of the mini, for very cheap, because their prices get split up, which will give you a lot of armor, it'll freeze, so giving you a lot of tempo, and then it ramps your Lamplighter by 4 damage. It's just really, really strong. Like, all of these 3 cards, overall, people did not hit on, like, Mezzadune, Post Buff, Sleet Skater, or Lamplighter. Like, overall, people didn't hit on them, but I don't know, it just feels really good that Elemental Mage is really playable right now. I like Elemental Mage. I think the playing, like, on curve is really fun. I like playing Hunter. You play cards on curve. It's really fun. So, yeah, and then, I don't know, Sleet Skater is just such a powerful card. It's really hard to understand how a lot of people miss this. In Wild, I feel like it's a little more plausible that a card like this would be bad, but, like, the Miracle Rogue meta was right there, man. It's just insane. Then for Paladin, I haven't really been wrong about any Paladin cards that have come out in the last year. They're just all pretty obviously either good or bad. I'm gonna be so honest with you. Like, I think the worst I would have been is, like I said, Lanessa wouldn't be that good in Wild, and it's like, okay. I said it wouldn't be like a great card. I said it would be like a pretty good card, and that's about where it is. So yeah, let's move past Paladin, because I'm gonna take the W on this one. I really don't think I got any, like, very wrong. Then we have Priest. So Pendant of Earth, when this card first came out, it was so obviously going to be strong in Druid. No question whatsoever. But in Priest, it was just like, I didn't anticipate it in any way. I said that it wouldn't be that great in Priest. I really didn't anticipate that they would just be running Naga Giants to just gain 20 armor for 3 mana. And, like, it's more obvious that a card like this would be too strong in Druid. I forgot to have a picture for this slide. Anyway, it's just, I don't know, it makes a lot of sense in retrospect that, yeah, a control deck would also want, 3 mana, thin a card, gain 20 armor. That seems pretty obvious in retrospect, but, like, at the time, I just didn't anticipate it. I thought that, like, a slower Priest deck wasn't that great, if I remember correctly. So I really wasn't anticipating this, and, I mean, Pen of Earth might be one of the most, like, disgustingly, terribly designed cards ever. So, yeah. Then for Rogue, the best card, I've been wrong about this expansion, is Portalmancer Skyla. Oh my gosh. Rogue, good job, man. Great expansion. All your cards are really strong. You have a lot of really powerful cards. Just not in Rogue. It's in Mage. This card is so unbelievably broken. Oh, man. Okay, so I thought this card would be fine, right? I thought it would be, like, an okay card with the coin cards. I didn't think it would be, like, that great with something like Conniving Con Man or Seashill. But obviously, why did I not anticipate, oh, wait, you could just cheat this card out earlier with Seashill and they just replay the spell with Con Man. I didn't anticipate that until, like, I saw it firsthand. I was like, oh, wait, you can do that. I mean, like, come on, dude. Portalmancer Sky, dude, this card is... No one thought this card would be as powerful as it was. People might have thought it would be strong, right? They might have thought it would be a good card. They do not think it would be as strong as it is right now. There's just no way. It's so crazy. It's one of the, like, strongest decks in the game. It's just it's really goofy. Like, it needs to be nerfed. Okay, then we have Shaman. So I'm picking Wave of Nostalgia. I really didn't think this card would be good. I thought it was just like an unsuspecting, kind of overcosted common card. Didn't really feel like it'd be that powerful, but when you have cards like Sigil of Skydiving that you can preemptively set up for Wave of Nostalgia, it's just, like, significantly stronger than I thought it would be. Obviously, I couldn't have known Sigil of Skydiving if all cards would be printed for Shaman, right? Shaman doesn't have sigils or secrets or anything like that. And, there's no way I could have known tourists were happening, or anyone could have known tourists are happening. But it still feels like a miss that, like, I shouldn't have had. Like, I feel like this one is, like, a complete write-off versus something like, oh, it could have had potential. I just didn't think it was worth it. I thought it was way too expensive for its effect. We had, Thunder... What is it? Thunderbringer? Not Thunderbringer. The Stormbringer, that's what it's called. In the past, it was 6 mana to do it to just your minions, and that card was kind of not that good. I guess the ult from the past might be helping, because there are a lot of really large legendary minions that you can get versus in Standard, so I think that does help as well. I don't know. I just thought like also transforming your opponent's minions was like made it not worth playing, but sometimes that is nice. You know, like I said, because it's like all legendaries ever, there's some real stinkers. You can hit like Keliseth, you could hit the 1-mana 1/1 and Priest, you could hit like Bran, which isn't very big, you could hit Astalor. There's a lot of like really small legendaries you could also hit, and like sometimes you just like absurdly high roll your opponent. You get like Lokalar, and you get like Alakir, and you get like Kel'Thuzad, and they get things like, I don't even know, like your sorry, like your Kel'Thalas, like your Astalor, like I was saying. It's just really funny when that happens. For Warlock, I'm choosing Wheel of Death. I'm going to say it right now, no one anticipated that Wheel of Death would work with Drukari Enchanter. Absolutely no one. If you are even going to pretend that you did, you're lying. Just no one thought this would work, because we didn't know that it would. You know, you don't know something like this until you test it in the game. And it's just like unbelievably better than the card is, since it doesn't work with Drukari Enchanter anymore, because it's on the start of your turn now, which not only is like significantly slower, it's like a full turn slower, right? Because it's the start of your turn. Yeah, it's a full turn slower, which is insane. It also means that like you don't just get to end your turn when you get to that 5th turn and not have to do anything. That means like your 4th turn has to be even stronger, because your opponent gets to have their full turn again. Sorry, your 5th turn has to be really strong, because like your opponent could still just kill you right before it goes off. Unlike before, where effectively you only really had to do 4 turns, because it was at the end of your 5th turn, which you could just skip. You didn't have to do anything that turn. So the card is just like so much better being end of turn. It's just like unreal. I mean, but like, come on, man. No one expected it with Drukari Enchanter. No one, man. It's just so strong. Was so strong. Then for Warrior, I'm choosing Thogrun. Yeah, Bran was obviously really strong, but Thogrun, dude, I got this card wrong twice. I thought that, you know, when it first came out, it was not very good, I'll be honest. But then when Bran came out, it was way better than I thought it would be because of Bran, right? You would play with Bran, and then you would play Gaslight Gatekeeper to like effectively cycle through your entire deck to hit all the bombs and destroy 18 cards. And I was like, okay, yeah, that's really strong and really disgusting. Didn't anticipate that. So then, you know, when it got nerfed, I was like, oh yeah, that's a pretty big nerf, right? You know, it's probably gonna make the card a lot worse. It didn't make the card any worse. It just punished your opponent for drawing a lot of cards. So it's just like, dude, what the heck? I don't know. Thogrun is probably one of the least interesting and well-designed cards I've seen in a long time, because all it does is it just says 8 mana. Okay, if you draw enough cards, you actually lose over half of your deck. Like, how is this fair in comparison to something like Void Contract, which also destroys half of your deck? This also destroys minions on board and cards in hand. Like, yeah, it's not technically half of your deck, but it's destroying all of these cards that you would have been able to play. It's not putting you further into fatigue as much as, you know, Void Contract. You know, it only puts you 9 in fatigue. No, 6 in fatigue, versus Void Contract would be like, it would be probably like 13 on average. Or no, if you're at turn 8, I don't even know, like 10 on average or something. Oh, it's probably, no, actually, it's way worse. It's so bad. It's so bad. What is Void Contract, man? Come on, like, what is that? Anyway, back to Thogrun. Dude, this card, I never in a million years would I have suspected this card to be as good as it was in the way that it was. I will admit that, up and down. It's just so much better. But yeah, that's gonna be it from me. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me anything down below. Did you have any cards that you were like very wrong on? Is there anything that like I was wrong on that I'm not remembering? If anyone remembers, are there any cards that I, you know, other way around, cards I was very right on that people underwrit? I might do something like that. But yeah, I was right about Sing Along Buddy though. Love that guy. That's gonna be it for me. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Shadows are rising again.
Darker than they've ever been. As evil descends from the skies, the world cries out, how will we survive? Out of the hall of explorers, and up from the dusty tomb, they grab their whips and fedoras. These legends are the